Okay. Hello, everybody. Solomon AD here. I had gotten a wonderful question from someone on Facebook that wanted to know more about my possession with Samael. There's a lot that goes into it, but they asked the general question about, like, what is it like? So, I've been possessed a few times. Um, in a way, I'm always kind of possessed, but you know, I'm talking about like full on, and then there's like witnesses and stuff. It's been a few times. Sometimes it ends up being kind of like a mass of spirits. Um, but some of my most intense possession experiences have been with Samael and Kingu. And I would say overall, majority of them were with Samael. So I belong to a group, and we've gotten together and done rituals. And Samael really likes to come out and play. And me and this group, we did a Lilith ritual, a group Lilith ritual, back in the summer. And that one, Samael was full-fledged, like really possessing me. It's like when people ask like what it's like, it's different for everyone. There's general similarities, but it's also different per spirit. Every spirit's kind of got a different style and touch. It also depends on your personal relationship with the spirit. I cannot promise anyone the same kind of results with any spirit. Now, there's some that are very amicable and some that approach people in more of a universal fashion. And then there are some that, like I said in one video about devils, you really got to work for a relationship with them. And you know that's with celestials too. They're just a little bit more exclusive, or like rare gods. Sometimes they just not everyone's their cup of tea. And then that's not even counting like Fae and all of those. But I don't specialize in Fae and like Jinn and the less fixated spirits in reality. When it comes to Samael, I just always have a disclaimer because he's not a safe spirit. He will do things. First of all, it can like mess your mind up because he can be very cruel, which he has done that to me in possession. And then there's been times where he's just flat out physically hurt me because he is Martian. He is as Martian as they get. He's more Martian than Azazel. Azazel's kind of like a 50-50 or like a 60-40 Saturn Martian split. And where Azazel brings more of a wise, like older warlord kind of touch. Samael is brutality, simply put. Now he does have higher intelligences. He does have he can ascend to other manifestations of supremacy, and I've bear witness to some. However, it is not the commonplace, and to get a inkling of that, I would imagine you have to work very hard with him. There's another magi who we've swapped notes, and he had a very similar experience where he was not shown those shiny rocks quickly at all. It took a long time. So I had to foster a relationship with him. Now, the thing is, how I got possessed by him was I have been possessed before, but it was because I really actively sought being possessed by him. I have a very aggressive profession. I have a very aggressive secondary profession. And I believed that I needed the Archangel of Mars, to be fully integrated with me. And when I say that, I don't mean exclusively Archangel Mars. He's also the father of the Qliphoth. He's also like the archdemon of archdemons. So, uh, I felt like I needed to integrate that, and I always felt an affinity to it's more of a subliminal and subconscious affinity to his colors and the diagrams of his colors. Like when I look at his angelic signature, it's like I know that's my signature in a way. I have his mark tattooed here. That is how far I've gone to bond with him. Now my possession stories go way before getting this. So what it's like is that I with Samael, because he's Martian, there's an element of anger, severe anger, and you'll be taken back to memories of that made you the most angry or made you the most victimized, because in warfare in Mars, collateral damage and victims, that's a part of warfare, and sometimes that means you, even as the operator. So he showed me things that hurt me very, very much, and the way that he gets you to grow is literally by hurting you. And if you survive, that's why again, man, it's like Samael is no joke. Even most demonolators don't work with him. They work with Satan or Lucifer, and they are much more amicable than Samael. That's the way. I find that to be pretty much an objective truth. Azazel's much more amicable. He said to me himself, and Shemyaza, he's another one that I like very much. That's of the similar mold. Much more amicable. I don't know. I'll just comment. That's another thing. But he's very intense, and he will hurt. He's not a dark daddy figure that you want. He is not a replacement for Jehovah as a dark god, like a father god that you're not going to be able to rest your head on his shoulders. And that's very much the case when he possesses me. Also, when possessing, he's Mars, so male sexuality, put two and two together. There's qualities that you become more masculine when that happens. If I had invoked a Venusian spirit, probably would have became more feminine, or I would have just exuded masculine traits that were a bit more sensual. But it depends on the spirit that you are getting possessed by. But things will be oddly physical. You may get cut easy. This is my Samael experience. I got cut easy. There's a lot of intimate specifics I'm not going into, but it's a very intense experience. Sometimes it's draining. Sometimes it's not. With possession, but there's most of the time with him, it's like if I do a meditation with him, he'll knock me. Excuse me. He'll knock me out. I'll just wanna take a nap. So, if there's any more specific questions that I can answer about possession with Samael, please go ahead and ask me. If it is too private, I'll just say that's too private. I can't answer that, but I won't be offended. I invite anyone to ask questions about it, and I'll share what I can, and I won't share what I can't. So, he's not the only spirit I've been possessed by. He's the one I've been possessed by the most. I say second is Kingu, the Sumerian primordial. But yeah, may that serve you well.